Note cards. My name is Renee Brathwaite. Can you imagine being born without limbs? No arms, no legs. Australian-born Nick Vujicic was born without limbs. Yes, no hands or legs. He was born in 1982 with a rare disorder without fully formed limbs. He is a Christian evangelist and motivational speaker who graduated from Griffith University at the age of 21 with a double major and is married with two sons. Despite his success in life, it did not come without trials and a suicide attempt at age 10. Nick gives motivational speeches around the world about bullying and has written several books about his life and his faith in God. Despite being bullied as a child and questioning why he is so different from other children, Nick thrived to become who he is today. Bullying has become a hot topic of discussion lately, especially regarding cyberbullying. So, what is bullying? Individuals have different variations of defining bullying. According to stopbullying.org, bullying is defined as unwanted, aggressive behavior among school-aged children that involves a real or perceived power of imbalance. To be considered bullying, the behavior must be repeated and aggressive. There are four types of bullying. We have cyberbullying, verbal, social, emotional, and physical. Cyberbullying is the newest form of bullying that takes place using technology. For example, social media, Facebook, Twitter, instant messaging, and emails. Cyberbullying can happen regardless of where you are or where a child may be. You may be at home, and it can occur 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Keep in mind, when it comes to cyberbullying, deleting messages or pictures on the internet can be very difficult. And once the messages are posted or sent, it can be very difficult to erase these messages off the internet. The next form of bullying, social emotional bullying, is behavioral actions designed to harm a child's reputation or cause humiliation, which includes rumors, negative facial gestures, or mean jokes. Another form of bullying, verbal bullying, is name calling, teasing, or intimidation. I think we're most familiar with verbal bullying, perhaps. And the last form of bullying is physical bullying, which is hitting, kicking, pinching, pushing, or damaging property. So have you ever been bullied, or maybe your child has been bullied? Maybe. 8-year-old Gabrielle Taille committed suicide earlier this year. He's a Cincinnati third grader who committed suicide January 26, 2017. A video was released in May, which showed Gabrielle being hit, and he was in the restroom on the floor, and kids just walked over him like he wasn't there. After 2 days later, after that video was posted, Gabrielle committed suicide, unfortunately. He was found by his mother in his home. He hung himself in his bedroom, and his mother found him in his home. So why do children bully? Maybe lack of attention at home or neglect. Anger. Some children don't know how to handle their anger or conflict. Maybe it's a learned behavior at home. Some kids are more aggressive or impulsive. Some may make them feel more powerful or think it's cool to bully. Sometimes children who are bullied can feel different, powerless, unpopular, or alone. According to the National Center for Educational Statistics in 2016, they reported more than 1 out of every 5 or 20% of students reported being bullied. Among middle school students, 24% are cyberbullied and 45% are bullied on school property. And that is according to the CDC, or Center for Disease Control, and that was in 2015. For high school students, it was 15% were cyberbullied, with 20% being bullied on school property. Children who are targets of bullying deal with sadness, loneliness, and maybe nervousness. Bullying directly affects students' ability to learn. Maybe they have low self-esteem, they suffer from isolation or few friends, and may have a negative view of school, which is unfortunate. Sometimes they may have physical symptoms like headaches, stomach aches, or sleeping problems. Some may have mental issues dealing with depression or suicidal thoughts or tendencies. Bullied children are targeted for different reasons, maybe perhaps of race, national origin, sexual orientation, looks, maybe their weight or their clothes, religion, or disabilities, just to name a few. Students who engage in bullying behavior are at increased risk for academic problems, substance abuse, violent behavior later in adolescence and adulthood. And this is according to the Center for Disease Control, also in 2015. All 50 states have passed anti-bullying laws and legislation, with the first being Georgia in 1999. Each state has addressed bullying differently. There is no federal law that specifically applies to bullying. Anti-bullying and zero tolerance laws in schools should be standard practice, and perhaps some schools can incorporate things such as training and prevention and education, which must be included in school policies. It should engage in proactive approach so children and students can feel comfortable approaching teachers and administrators when they are being bullied, and parents should talk to their children about bullying. Schools need to take quick action to avoid bullying if it occurs. Bullying can be stopped. We all have a role to play in it to be kind to one another and address the consequences of bullying. So in conclusion, every student should feel safe no matter the environment, and they should not feel threatened, bullied, or intimidated while at school. School should be a positive environment for learning. It saddens me to hear of students committing suicide because they are pushed to the point of vulnerability without any hope of things getting better or better things to come. I too have been the recipient of bullying in school. Thankfully, not to the point where I felt hopeless or discouraged. It takes courage for onlookers to stand up against bullies. I would agree to that. Without addressing the consequences of bullying, more tragic results will continue to occur. We as parents, students, and faculty should take a stand and show cowards that their actions are unjust and demeaning towards others. I highly recommend watching Nick Vujicic on YouTube. He has some amazing, inspiring speeches about bullying. And if you or someone that you know are being bullied, take action immediately. If they are suicidal or have suicidal thoughts, contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255, 24 hours a day, or call your local authorities for help. Thank you for listening to my speech.